Henry David Thoreau made the best pencils in America. His father was a pencil maker. The family business was modest. Pencils that wrote, pencils that sold, pencils that paid the bills. Nothing special. Then Thoreau took over the formula. He experimented with clay ratios, tested different grinds, refined the process until the pencil wrote smoother, lasted longer, and marked darker than any pencil in the country. He perfected it. The Thoreau pencil became famous. Customers sought it out. He could have been rich. He could have built an empire. He could have spent the rest of his life making the best pencils in the world and died wealthy and respected. He walked away, not because he failed, because he had learned what he needed to learn. The pencil was never the point. The point was the craft. The point was the question, what happens when you become excellent at something and then stop? I have been good at things that left me empty too. Mastery without meaning is just a longer leash. The pencil sits on the desk, perfectly sharp. The best pencil in America. Thoreau held it in his hand. He had solved the problem. He had beaten the market. He had proven he could do it. Then he set it down. He did not throw it away. He did not burn the formula. He simply stopped. He walked away from the business and walked into the woods. The pencil was not the destination. The pencil was the proof. Proof that he could master something. Proof that he could focus. Proof that he could see a problem through to its end. Once he had the proof, he did not need to keep making pencils. He needed to find out what the proof was for. I have held the pencil too. The thing I am good at. The skill that pays the bills. The craft that people admire. I have looked at it in my hand and wondered, is this it? Is this what I spent all those years learning to do? Is this the destination? Thoreau looked at the pencil and said no. Not because he was ungrateful, because he was honest. The pencil had taught him discipline. It had taught him precision. It had taught him that excellence is a choice, not an accident. Those lessons were valuable, but they were not his life. They were the preparation for his life. The pencil was the tool. The life was the work. I have confused the tool for the work too. I have spent years sharpening a pencil I never intended to write with. I have become excellent at things that leave me empty at the end of the day. Thoreau walked away, not because he was lazy, because he was paying attention. He noticed that the pencil business was consuming his hours without feeding his soul. He noticed that the better he got at making pencils, the less time he had to write, to walk, to think, to sit in his doorway and watch the light move across the pond. He made a choice, the pencil or the life. He chose the life. The pencil did not disappear. It sat on the desk. It reminded him of what he had learned. But he did not pick it up again for commerce. He picked up a different pencil, the one he would use to write Walden. The one he would use to write the essays that would outlive every pencil he ever made. The craft was not wasted. The craft was transferred. The discipline of making the perfect pencil became the discipline of writing the perfect sentence. The precision of the clay ratio became the precision of the observation. The patience of the experiment became the patience of the years at the pond. He did not lose the pencil. He became the pencil. I've been afraid to walk away. Afraid that if I stop doing the thing I am good at, I will lose my identity. Afraid that people will think I failed. Afraid that the years I spent mastering the craft will have been wasted. Thoreau showed me that the years are not wasted. They are the foundation. The craft is not the cage. It is the training ground. The question is not whether to walk away. The question is what you are walking toward. He walked toward the woods, not away from the world, toward a deeper engagement with it. He needed to know what his hands were for when they were not making things to sell. He needed to find out if there was a version of himself that existed outside the thing he was good at. He found out. His hands grew beans. His hands built a cabin. His hands wrote a book that is still being read 170 years later. The pencil made him precise. The precision made him a writer. The writing made him immortal, not because he stayed, because he left. I've been good at things that left me empty too. I have held the pencil for years, respected for it, recognized for it, hollowed out by it. I kept telling myself that walking away would be failure, that quitting is for people who cannot make it, that the only way to win is to keep going. Thoreau kept going. He just changed what he was going toward. The pencil was not his identity. The pencil was his teacher. When the lesson was over, he walked out of the classroom. He did not need to repeat the lesson. He needed to live what he had learned. I have repeated the lesson too many times. I have kept making pencils when I should have been writing. I have been afraid to set down the thing I am good at because I did not know what I would pick up next. Thoreau picked up a different pencil. Not a better one. A different one. One that served a different purpose. One that wrote sentences instead of drawing lines. The hand that held the pencil did not change. The direction did. I do not need to burn the thing I am good at. I need to set it down. Not forever. For now. Long enough to ask, what is this for? What was I training for? What am I supposed to do with these hands now that they know how to work? Thoreau walked into the woods not to escape, to find the answer to that question. He found it, not in the cabin, not in the pond, in the stillness between the pencil and the page. The pencil was the preparation. The woods were the practice. The writing was the purpose. I have been preparing for years. I have been sharpening a pencil I never intended to write with. Today I set it down. Not forever. Long enough to ask the question, what am I walking toward? The answer is not a product. It is not a position or a title or a salary. It is a life that uses the craft instead of being consumed by it. A life where the hands make things that matter. Thoreau walked away from the best pencils in America. He walked toward a small cabin on a small pond. He walked toward beans and ice and the sound of his own voice in the silence. He did not know what he was walking toward. He just knew he had to walk. The pencil was not the destination. The walking was. The pencil is still on the desk. I can pick it up again tomorrow. But today I set it down. Today I walk. Not away. Toward. I walk until I find myself. I walk until I find myself. I walk until I find myself.